جامعة حلب، كلية الشريعة، السنة الأولى، كتاب اللغة الإنكليزية، تقدمة مبادرة ضوء بصوت أنيس. يغطي هذا التسجيل من الصفحة رقم 116 حتى الصفحة 127 من الوحدة السادسة. Reading 2. A Travel Journal. Read the following pages from the Journal of a Tourist who traveled to Antarctica. يتألف هذا النص من مجموعة من المقاطع. سوف أقوم بترك فراغ بعد الانتهاء من المقطع وقبل البداية بالمقطع الذي يليه. بداية المقطع. A Travel Journal. Chile, South America, February 16. The sunlight was shining so brightly as our plane flew over the snow, which seemed to go on forever. Island of Cape Horn, February 18. We spent the morning at a small church named Star of the Sea. This is a quiet place where visitors are invited to remember all the international sailors who died here. They were all trying to sail around the southern point of South America, and many of them lost their lives at sea. Drake Passage, aboard the tour ship Explorer, February 19. We were welcomed today by the captain and crew. They gave us warm, Antarctic jackets and introduced themselves to us. Seabirds closely, sailing in the cold wind. As we headed south, we saw a pink ship in the distance. Our captain explained that it was not a ship, but an iceberg, the first one of our trip. Deception Island, Antarctica, February 21. We landed on Bailey Head, where thousands and thousands of penguins greeted us. The crew gave us a set of rules to follow to protect the environment. Mark, one of the scientists on our ship, asked us to bring him any trash that we find. He is studying the amount of trash created by tourists in Antarctica each year. The amount of trash created by tourists in Antarctica each year. Tonight, we will listen to Christina, another scientist. Then she will show us a video. The more I see, the more I want to learn. Cool River Island, Antarctica, February 23. We awakened this morning to the noisy sound of penguins. They are loud. We met a team of biologists living in tents. They are studying the effect of tourists on baby penguins. When our captain invited the biologists to come on board for a hot shower, they joined us immediately. Then we cruised through the icebergs, which appeared in unbelievable shapes and sizes. As the sun was sinking in the sky, they seemed to be works of art by an ice sculptor. Paradise Bay, Antarctica, February 25. Today, we reached the mainland of the continent. Our guide today was Stephanie, who helped us walk through snow to a point about 500 feet above sea level. We were laughing like children when we reached the top. It was so much fun to be up there. Later, we explored the glaciers in motorized rafts. The ice was as thick as the crushed ice in a soft drink, and as we pushed through it, the snow fell down like white flowers. The Tail Island, Antarctica, February 28. We're crossing the Antarctic Circle. Each year, only 300 visitors come this far south. Mark explained that the ice is blue down here because it catches all the colors of the rainbow except for blue. I have always thought of Antarctica as nothing but white, but now I see a clear blue light shining through the mountains of ice all around us, and I have no words to describe the beauty. Our ship passed a huge field of a frozen sea. Mark invited us to come out and play. We were not sure at first, but when we felt how solid it was, we jumped and ran. All around us were mountains and glaciers that no one has ever explored. Even has ever touched them. Only a few human eyes have seen them. When I get home, it will be hard for me to explain what this feeling of amazement was like, but I will try. We all felt sad today when we realized that our ship was heading north. We really don't want to leave Antarctica. A unique word. يوجد الآن مجموعة من الأسئلة التي تتعلق بالنص المقروء. Discuss the following questions with the class. What kind of person do you think this tourist is? Do you think she did anything that was dangerous for Antarctica? Explain. Which part of her trip did she seem to enjoy the most? Which part of her trip did she seem to enjoy the most? Which part would you enjoy the most? Explain. What did people on this trip do to protect Antarctica and keep it clean? يوجد لدينا الآن جدول مقارنة بين آراء العلماء الذي يعتمد على النص الذي تمت قراءته في القسم الأول من الوحدة السادسة وآراء السياح الذي يعتمد على النص الذي تمت قراءته في القسم الثاني من الوحدة السادسة. يوجد في هذا الجدول بعض الفراغات التي يتوجب على الطالب ملئها اعتمادا على المعلومات التي تمت قراءتها في النصوص السابقة. سوف أذكر كلمة space عند الفراغ الذي يتوجب على الطالب ملئه. Linking readings 1 and 2. 1. The chart below compares the views of the scientists with the views of the tourists. Look back at readings 1 and 2 and fill in the missing information. Opinions of the scientists. 1. The Antarctic environment must be preserved for research. Opinions of the tourists. As tourists learn about Antarctica and return home to tell their friends and families about its importance, they may want to help preserve the environment of Antarctica. 2. Opinions of the scientists. We cannot control the behavior of the tourists. Opinions of the tourists. Space. 3. Opinions of the scientists. Space. Opinions of the tourists. 3. Tourists can actually help scientists with their experiments. 4. Opinions of the scientists. Tourists don't care about Antarctica. Opinions of the tourists. Space. Which opinion do you agree with more, the scientists or the tourists? Why? Write your answer on a separate piece of paper, then share it with the class. Focus on vocabulary. 1. Match the adjectives in the box and think of on a separate piece of paper. يوجد الآن لدينا مجموعة من الأسماء ومجموعة من الصفات. يجب على الطالب مطابقة الأسماء مع الصفات المناسبة لها. سوف أقوم أولا بسرد الأسماء ومن ثم سرد الصفات. tourism, ozone hole, oil spill, landscape, consequences, continent, tourists, weather, global warming, ice, research, temperature, seabirds, effector, seabirds, effects. These are all the nouns. The adjectives: unique, coastal, remote, harsh, vast, fragile, frozen, scientific, natural, oldest. Example: unique landscape. 2. Read the list of analogy types, their definitions and examples. Then analyze the relationships among their definitions and examples. Then analyze the relationships among the vocabulary words from the text. Circle the word that best completes each analogy. Be sure that the second pair of words has a similar relationship to the first pair of words. Label each with the analogy type. Analogy types: synonym, definition, the words have the same meaning. Example: work, job. Analogy type: antonym, definition, the words have the opposite meaning. Example: harsh, gentle. Analogy type: cause-effect, definition, phrase is the result of another word or phrase. Examples: oil spill, death of penguins. Analogy type: degree, definition, one word has a stronger meaning than the other. Example: damaged, destroyed. Analogy type: user, tool. Definition: one word describes a person and the other word describes the tool used by the person. Example: scientist, microscope. Analogy type: necessity. Definition: one word is needed for the other word to function. Example: water, shower. تألف من 10 جمل ويتعلق بالذي شرحناه سابقا بما يتعلق بالanalogy types. في كل جملة ذكروا لنا كلمتين، فبحسب العلاقة بين هاتين الكلمتين يجب علينا إتمام الجملة عن طريق الاختيار بين 3 كلمات. مثال: إذا أعطونا كلمتي unique, rare، فهاتين الكلمتين تحملان نفس العلاقة وتحملان نفس المعنى، فيجب علينا إتمام الجملة بكلمة مماثلة لمعنى الكلمة التي ذكروها لنا. في هذا المثال ذكروا لنا كلمة huge، فيجب علينا الآن الاختيار بين الكلمات الثلاثة التي سأذكرها الآن: fragile, remote, vast. الجواب هو vast، لأن huge تحملان نفس المعنى. ويجب علينا أيضا تحديد نوع الأنالوجي عند كل جملة. الجملة الثانية heavy rain flood vast ice files. الآن يجب اختيار كلمة من الثلاث كلمات التي سأذكرها الآن. cool weather ozone layer lighting. لا تنسى أن تذكر نوع الأنالوجي أيضا. الجملة الثالثة protected preserved. المطلوب worried. اختيار بين الكلمات الثلاثة التي سأذكرها الآن. happy. اختيار بين الكلمات الثلاثة التي سأذكرها الآن. happy concerned careful. لا تنسى ذكر الأنالوجي type. الجملة الرابعة harsh comfortable. inland يجب إتمامها بأحد الكلمات الثلاثة. coastal mountain ocean. لا تنسى أن تذكر الأنالوجي type. الجملة الخامسة swimming water research. يجب اختيار واحدة من الكلمات الثلاث. paper books or facts. لا تنسى كتابة الأنالوجي type. الجملة السادسة traveler map. ما هو إتمام كلمة astronomer؟ A microscope B telescope C equipment. لا تنسى ذكر الأنالوجي type. الجملة السابعة old ancient far A young B remote C near. الجملة الثامنة increase decrease. الكلمة delicate. يجب اختيار واحدة من الثلاث الكلمات التالية. A harsh B fragile C strong. لا تنسى كتابة الأنالوجي type. الجملة التاسعة problem crisis. يجب إتمام كلمة knowledge بواحدة من الكلمات الثلاثة التالية. A expertise B information C worry. لا تنسى كتابة الأنالوجي type. الجملة العاشرة consequence result. يجب إتمام كلمة traveler بواحدة من الخيارات الثلاثة التالية. A tourist B guide C researcher. لا تنسى كتابة الأنالوجي type. 2. Write a question to go with each answer. Use the words in parentheses in your questions. You may need to change some word forms. يوجد لدينا الآن في هذا السؤال مجموعة من الإجابات، حيث يتوجب علينا كتابة سؤال كل جواب تم ذكره. يوجد بجانب كل سؤال كلمة بين القوسين يجب علينا استخدامها في السؤال. سوف أذكر الآن مثال محلول. Number 1. Answer. Nobody lives in Antarctica permanently. Word in parentheses, inhabitants. The inhabitants who live in Antarctica all year. Number 2. Answer. Antarctica is a center of important scientific research. Word in parentheses, preserve. Question. Space. 3. Answer. Tourist groups interrupt or ruin scientific research, harm the environment, and can even increase the likelihood of oil spills by bringing cruise ships down there. Word in parentheses, tourism. Question. Space. 4. Answer. They provide natural air conditioning for our planet. Word is vast. Question. Space. 5. Answer. It is made of gases that protect the earth from the bad effects of the sun. Word in parentheses, ozone layer. Question. Space. 6. Answer. The ice could melt so that ozone levels would rise and flood the coastal cities of the earth. Word in parentheses, consequence. Question. Space. 7. Answer. We can do it by stopping tourists from going there. Word in parentheses, space. 8. Answer. Some people worry that Antarctica will not be protected because it has no government. Word in parentheses, concerned about. Question. Space. Focus on writing. A. Writing an opinion essay. 1. Tourists in a fragile land is an opinion essay. How is an opinion essay different from other types of writing you have done? How is it organized? What do you think makes an opinion essay effective? An essay is a piece of writing that has more than one or two paragraphs and is organized in a specific way. An opinion essay expresses an opinion about something. There are 3 important parts of a good opinion essay. The first part, the introductory paragraph, introduces the topic by giving general statements. These statements catch the reader's attention. They may tell about the importance of the subject or give background information. The last sentence of the paragraph contains the thesis statement. The thesis statement is like the topic sentence of a paragraph. It gives the specific topic and the main idea of the essay. In any opinion essay, it states the writer's opinion about the topic. The second part, the body. The body is the part of an essay that explains or supports the main idea in this statement. The writer gives reasons, examples, explanations, and facts to show why he or she believes something. It can be one paragraph, but it is usually more than one. Each paragraph of the body has a topic sentence and supporting details. The concluding paragraph. The concluding paragraph restates the main idea of the thesis statement. It can also contain a summary of the supporting details in the body, make a prediction about the future, or make suggestions for the future. Refer to tourists in a fragile land to complete the following tasks. The introduction. 1. Find the thesis statement. Copy it here. 2. Write a summary sentence of the information in the rest of the introduction in the first paragraph. The body. 3. Underline the topic sentence in the first paragraph. The body. 3. Underline the topic sentence of each of the remaining paragraphs. 4. In paragraph 3, what type of supporting details are used? Reason, example, explanation, or facts. In paragraph 4, what type of supporting details are used? The conclusion. 6. Find the concluding sentence that restates the main idea. Write it here. 7. Does the concluding paragraph summarize the supporting details in the body? Does it make Now that you have analyzed the essay in reading 1, imagine you are a tourist who wants Antarctica to be open to tourism, and you are writing an opinion essay. Go back to section 2C, linking readings 1 and 2, page 102, and use the tourist's points to develop 1 or 2 paragraphs for the body of the essay below. يوجد لدينا الآن مثال عن opinion essay. تم كتابة المقدمة وكتابة الخاتمة، ويجب على الطالب كتابة the body of the essay، وهو صلب الموضوع أو صلب المقالة. سوف أقوم الآن بسرد المقدمة والخاتمة، وأذكر كلمة space في المكان الذي يتوجب على الطالب فيه ملء المقالة. As a tourist who has been to Antarctica, I can tell you that it is a life-changing experience. I remember watching the clear, blue light shining through the mountains of ice all around us. It was amazing. I also remember how we were laughing like children when we reached the top of a snowy point 500 feet above sea level. I will never forget the beauty that I saw, the things that I learned and the experience of being in a place where so few humans have been. Now I understand the importance of respecting our fragile planet. I know that some people want to make it impossible for tourists to visit this amazing continent. But I still believe every person should have the opportunity to go to Antarctica and see what I have seen. There are so many reasons why Antarctica should be visited by tourists. Space. A big space. الآن سوف أقوم بسرد الخاتمة. If tourists are not allowed to visit Antarctica, they will never experience how important it is. They will never understand how fragile the environment there is. They will never feel curious about how things grow in such a cold place. They will never stare in awe at the unspeakable beauty of blue ice mountains. And they will never return home to teach their friends and family what they have learned. Antarctica must be left open so that tourists can experience all it has to offer and know its value. Section B. Grammar. Past progressive and simple past. What is the difference between the verb forms in the sentences? Notice the boldface words. How are the meanings of when and while different? سوف أقوم بإعادة الكلمة التي يوجد تحتها خط مرتين. الجملة الأولى. 1. We were laughing like children when we reached the top of a snowy point 500 feet above sea level. 2. The sunlight was shining so brightly when our plane was shining so brightly when our plane flew over the Andes Mountains. We were drinking champagne while we were crossing the Antarctic Circle. الآن يوجد لدينا جدول يتم فيه شرح زمن past progressive وزمن simple past. وبعد ذكر كل قاعدة سوف نذكر مثال لتوضيح القاعدة. 1. Use the simple past tense to talk about actions, states, and situations in the past that are finished. The simple past tense of regular verbs is formed by adding d or ed to the base form of the verb. Example: sea birds followed the ship closely. 2. Use the past progressive, also called past continuous, to describe a continuous non-stop action that was in progress at a specific time in the past. Examples of specific time include yesterday, last night, at that time. The past progressive is formed like this: be in the past. be في الماضي هي was أو were plus verb plus ing. Example: the sunlight was shining so brightly on the glaciers. 3. Use the past progressive with the simple past tense to talk about an action that was interrupted by another action. Use the simple past tense for the interrupting action. Use when to end action. Example: we were laughing like children when we reached the top 4. If you put the when clause first, you must put a comma at the end of the clause. Example: when we reached the top, comma, we were laughing like children. 5. Use the past progressive with while to describe two actions in progress at the same time in the past. Example: we were drinking champagne while we were crossing the So, the simple past can also be used in the while clause without changing the meaning. Example: we were drinking champagne while we crossed the Antarctic Circle. 2. يوجد لدينا في هذا السؤال 6 جمل. يوجد بجانب كل جملة كلمة ما بين قوسين. يجب علينا إتمام الجملة باستخدام الكلمات الموجودة ما بين قوسين في نهاية كل جملة بعد وضعها في زمن simple past أو past progressive اعتمادا على معنى الجملة. سوف أقوم بحل الجملة الأولى كمثال توضيحي. 1. Mark was studying the amount of trash created by tourists in Antarctica when الكلمة بين قوسين he becomes sick. يجب علينا الآن إتمام الجملة باستخدام كلمة become sick بصيغة الزمن المناسب. الجواب هو Mark was studying the amount of trash created by tourists in Antarctica when he became sick. Became sick. 2. The biologists were taking showers while الكلمات التي بين قوسين we eat lunch. يجب علينا إتمام الجملة باستخدام الكلمات الثلاثة التي وردت بين قوسين وذلك باستخدام زمن simple past أو past progressive وهكذا. 3. I cried when الكلمات التي بين قوسين I get off the boat. يجب الآن إتمام الجملة بالطريقة التي تم شرحها سابقا. 4. Many sailors lost their lives while الكلمات التي بين قوسين they tried to sail around South America. 5. We were running and jumping on the iceberg when الكلمات التي بين قوسين it start to break. 6. The tourists arrived while the scientists الكلمات التي بين قوسين work on an experiment. 3. Think about the last time you took a vacation or the last time you went somewhere in a group. What were you doing? What were other people doing? On a separate piece of paper, write 2 sentences with while and 2 sentences with when. Topics. Choose one of the following topics. Write an opinion essay using some of the vocabulary and the grammar that you learned in this unit. 1. Do you believe Antarctica should be closed to tourists? Why or why not? 2. Can you think of any places in the world that should be closed to tourists? Why? Explain. 3. In your opinion, which remote place is the best one for tourists to visit? Why? 4. Is it possible for scientists and tourists to work together to protect the environment? Explain. Together to protect the environment? Explain. 5. Describe a place you know that has been helped or hurt by tourism. Give details. 6. How can tour companies help to make sure that the environment in Antarctica is safe?